Hello again, and welcome to exercise 44, practice with gumball. This exercise will require an auxiliary model, and it is the same model that we use for exercise 43, which is called gumball. The first thing we're going to do in this exercise is go ahead and move over to the layers panel and turn off the cone layer and turn on the parent puzzle layer. And notice that by turning on a parent puzzle layer, or any parent layer for that matter, will turn on all of its sublayers as well. Next thing we're going to do so that we can see all of our puzzle pieces in all of our viewports is visit zoom. So let's view, zoom, zoom extents all. Next, we're going to do a little bit of modifications to the grid snap. So let's make sure grid snap, ortho, and gumball are all on your status bar. And then go ahead and right click on grid snap and select settings. And what we're looking out for here is grid snap spacing. Make sure that it's set to 0.05 and then click OK. Now we can begin repositioning the puzzle pieces to put together our puzzle box. So let's start with puzzle piece number 1 in the front viewport. And the first thing we're going to do is to relocate the gumball. So let's left click on the gumball menu marker, and that's the circle, and click on Relocate Gumball. With the end point O snap, pick the lower left corner of the piece. Now select a x-axis and select the y-axis. Now press and drag along the blue arc to rotate the piece to 90 degrees. Oh, there we go. And we have successfully rotated the first puzzle piece. Now let's repeat these steps for puzzle pieces 3, 5, and 6. Keep in mind that you can move with the gumball, you can relocate the gumball origin, and you can also rotate with the gumball. And you keep in mind you should also use the appropriate viewports for different rotations. And in this instance, we're going to be rotating piece 3 in the front viewport, and then we're going to rotate pieces 5 and 6 in the right viewport. So let's go ahead and move over to the front viewport and select puzzle piece number 3. There we go. And go ahead and rotate puzzle piece 90 degrees. And double check that it's been rotated in the correct orientation by using your move tools. And remember, you have grid snap on, so it should be snapping nicely. There we go. Okay, success. That fit very nicely. Okay. Next, we're going to rotate puzzle piece number 5 in the right viewport. So let's select it and move our cursor over to the right viewport. And then we're going to rotate puzzle piece number 5 90 degrees. And then remember, use all your viewports always to check that things are going according to your intentions. Okay, let's see if this puzzle piece was rotated correctly. Okay, so far so good. Okay, it looks just by observing this that puzzle piece number 1 just needs to be moved into place, and I'm going to do that in my front viewport like so, and then I'm going to check in my perspective. Okay, looks good. Everything seems to be fitting well so far, so good. Next, I'm going to rotate puzzle piece number 6 again in the right viewport. And then I'm going to move it into place using the arrows and pulling and clicking and dragging. And then I'm going to check that everything fits in my perspective viewport, and it does indeed. Okay. Now we're going to use the gumball to move the final piece, piece number 4, into position on the top of the box using the axis plane indicator. So drag by the plane icon to constrain movement to that plane. Like so. Okay, and now I'm going to move it in my front viewport. And there we go. So it was really just a series of moving it in the correct viewports to get that final puzzle piece number 4 into place. And this is what your final product should look like. There shouldn't be any, big open wide gaps or extrusions for that matter. And that concludes exercise 44.